Shalom and welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This year is entitled Talking About the Taboo Topic of Hashgacha Pratit, Divine Providence. There are certain topics that were discussed so often among the Jewish medieval philosophers, and now it's just sort of put to rest. Not discussed, not debated. And one of them is Divine Providence, Hashgacha Pratit. Where if you look at the Rishonim from the 11, 12, 13, 1400s, they have a very definite shita philosophy on how God's providence works, and now it's sort of been shunned. And very often on divine providence, the Baal Shem Tov is quoted as saying that every leaf that falls, trillions of leaves around the world that are falling at any moment, God is telling each leaf, fall. There's no system of nature, nothing to do with the seasons and the autumn and the fall and the certain strength of the leaf losing its connection to the tree. No, God says fall. It's not a system of nature, it's God's direct providence. And very often that quote by the Baal Shem Tov is the final word, and there's no discussion of 500 years of scholarship. And my goal here is not to come to any conclusions as much as just to say there's a topic here. It's a fascinating topic. And the fact is, every topic in our Masorah is a fascinating one to explore and to understand, even if it's out of one's comfort zone. Or maybe should I say, especially if it's out of one's comfort zone. It's a great topic to explore. So we only go ahead and embrace a shita that we like and we feel comfortable with. Obviously, everyone loves the Baal Shem Tov's approach. Every frum person, I would say, loves the idea God's holding your hand constantly, and you don't need to earn it. You can act improperly. You can spend your whole life running after taivas and money and honor and wealth and fame, and God's holding your hand the same way that He's holding Rav Soloveitchik and Rav Lichtenstein and Rav Moshe Feinstein and Rav Shlomo Auerbach's hand. No different. It's a very appealing opinion. Is someone ready to explore and see, wow, let me look into this. This is a huge topic, but since we just read Parshas Vayera on the Ramban commenting on chapter 18, verse 19, Parak Yud Yutet, Pasuk Yutet, Ki Yedativ, Hashem says, am I going to hold back from Avram what I'm going to do? I'm going to destroy Sodom. Ki Yedativ. I have known Avraham. So Ramban says, what does that mean? I've known Avraham? That I have a special hashgacha, divine providence with Avraham. And the Ramban explains that over the animal species that Rabbeinu Bachaya, his student, elaborates on this. So if you want to see more of a elaboration, see the Rabbeinu Bachaya on the same pasuk, Yud Ches, Yud Tes. And he says God oversees the species, make sure that the species of animals survive. He doesn't go ahead and ordain this bird is going to catch this worm, or that this bird will catch this fish. He just makes sure the species survives, and even that, man has the great ability to even undo that and cause extinction. And then regarding man, Ramban of Rabbeinu Bachaya, Mo Nevuchim in the third book, chapter 51, and other places as well, and other Rishonim say, regarding man, so the hashgacha there will be constant hashgacha, not like the animal world, for a tzaddik, for a righteous person. Then, like Avram, there's liadativ, I have constant hashgacha. God knows everyone. Like a mashgiach in yeshiva, a mashgiach in a hotel or restaurant. Hopefully the mashgiach knows everything that's going on. But there's a second mashgiach, a second hashgacha, one who intervenes. So God knows everything that's going on in the universe. But will He intervene? So God says, so the Ramban, Rabbeinu Bachai, and others say He will intervene for a person who deserves that. And that's a tzaddik, a chassid. What they're basically saying is, you want God's providence, you have to earn it. You have to reach out to God, be close to Hashem, live a life of ruchnius and spirituality, where your focus is not on money and fame and wealth and taiva, and you focus on Hashem. V'atem hadvekim b'Hashem. You want the veikut b'Hashem. You reach out to God, you're a tzaddik, you're a chassid, then Hashem is with you. You spend the 70-hour week not because I need this to get by. I just want to have another million and another million so I can have another home and a newer car. And so that my next 17-year-old can have his fancy car. And then I could go ahead and have a suite in a nice, gorgeous hotel in Yerushalayim. And that's your life. It's physical. And yes, for a few minutes you put tefillin on. And on Shabbos afternoon you go to Pirkei Avos class with the rabbi for a few minutes. But the bulk of your time is just building up your estate and your wealth. And focusing on other things. So the Ramban and others have harsh words for such a person regarding hashgacha. You're not reaching up to Hashem. Hashem may not be reaching to you. He will know what's going on. He may not intervene the way you would like. So this is a fascinating topic, an uncomfortable topic, but it's certainly an amazing topic to explore, just like every topic is. And yes, as I said, maybe not so comfortable. Person could feel a little bit screaming about this. What's Baal Shem Tov? That's the final word on the topic. There's no one else on it. Well, there are other approaches. And if one is curious to investigate, like, Chachmat Hashem, then that's what one should do. And if one is just too queasy about it, which I don't think is a healthy thing, so then at least be aware that there's another shita, not just the Baal Shem Tovs, and go ahead and earn God's hashgacha and live like a tzaddik and a chassid. V'atem hadvekim b'Hashem, have dvekus in Hashem, focus at Hashem. Then Yetz Hashem, you can earn Hashem's hashgacha according to all opinions. Shalom.